Good morning, yellow cosmic seeds. At the end of the yellow human wave spell, here we are. Transcend and your transcend presence. We are the seed of the earth. Whirling through our solar system, our galaxy. We're so small. We're so small. And yet, like a seed, the smallest, tiniest seeds can grow into the biggest trees. Endure. And everything on this earth is set up in cycles and in life cycles. It's a good reason for it. It makes change easier or maybe even possible if everything just remained. Yeah, so as humans, if we're heading for longer lifespans, we want to stay healthy. We want to be able to change and stay fluid and flexible. Synchronize with our own fluidity, synchronize with our intuition, synchronized with the earth, her rhythms, our rhythms. Synchronized with each other. And synchronize with the divine. Whatever that means to each one of us individually. How separate, in your view, is the divine and the human? We don't need to go there. The inner and the outer world, the seed is a reflection or a manifestation of the tree, and the tree, the perfection or manifestation or the planetary seed, planetary tree of the reflection of the seed. My inner life and my outer life, the world I live in, I was thinking earlier, guidance, inner guidance versus outer guidance, external guidance. And I was thinking, but it's the same. The external world is how can I say, it's more than a reflection, but it's me. I meet me in every person I meet. I'm talking to myself, aspects of myself that have manifested as separate entities, as separate beings, as plans, as objects. And what is my relationship with every single thing that I can experience? Every single object, every single object in my home, or the very concept of home. I have a bit of a difficult relationship with the concept of home. I usually feel safe and at home where I am not at home. Conditioning. Can I drop it? Am I ready to let that go? And what would that mean? I keep talking about these, like we want one thing, we intend a thing, but it doesn't manifest because we may not realize that attached to the thing that we intend are other things that clash. Like I might intend to really feel at home where I live, and I might really want that, but I may not realize that I have another program that says if you feel really at home, you're going to get stuck there. You're going to be unable to leave. You're going to get stuck in a comfort zone of home, and it's going to make it impossible for you to change. And I may have such a strong attachment to that program, which runs subconsciously, stronger than my wish to be at home. And then I can't quite understand the clash. I might really, really long for a relationship, but unconsciously I might have a program says if I'm in a relationship, I'm trapped, or I can't live my own true self, or whatever, or I have to make a choice and exclude every other choice. And it is good to understand these, I think. And my personal discovery, time and again, is what happens to me when I discover the underlying, or some of the underlying programming that's preventing a wanted thing. And then when I come upon these programs that are running subconsciously, or I realize there are programs running there, some of which I may not even realize, I can get to a place of despair. And this is something that I've seen in the mirror of my life, displayed by other people that avoid awareness completely. Like they throw more than the baby out with the bathwater type of thing. It's like there's a complete avoidance of awareness on certain accounts, because somewhere in there lurks the perception of, or a perceived inability to act or to change, or to, there lurks the threat of powerlessness and the conditioning, this inability to affect change in a situation where that is perceived. I see in the mirror a reflection of me, which I cannot see, which I don't want to see. That is a level of honesty. It's incredible now to see it, that when I saw it in a friend of mine so clearly, I could not at the time really, I knew it must be a link to me. It must be a reflection. But I couldn't fully see it or take it. And now I'm seeing where I do that too, or that I do that as well. That I avoid awareness around certain topics. It's like living in a home and there are doors I never open. I'm not exactly sure what's behind those doors, or how much, but I just at the off chance that X I'm afraid of is behind there. In this particular case, a sense of powerlessness, a very, very deep sense of disempowerment, or certain pain, certain something. It makes me then not open that door. And it reminds me of the tree that grows beneath a fence or a bush or something. You've seen those, and then it grows itself through the fence, and you can never later on, when it's grown, it's become like one with that fence. You can't cut it out. You can't. A part of it will always become part of the trunk, like the tree has completely woven itself in with that. And that is its own ability. That is our survival mechanisms. That's our abilities. And some of those cannot be changed but through death, through complete dissolving of that life form, of that life expression. And some of it can be changed. And to learn the difference, which can and which can't. What do I need to live with and what don't I need to live with? And how do I peacefully live with the things I can't change? But first of all, to look at certain things and then decide. I mean, I don't want to make a decision, I can't change that, because then I've locked myself into that truth, which may not be a truth. But for how long am I gonna try to change something that can't be changed? Conundrum. And I can feel my body reacting even as I speak about this, oddly in my neck. There's a recollection in my cellular memory of rage, repressed rage in my childhood. Somewhere something needed to express itself, to affect change, to at least attempt to affect change, and it couldn't. She couldn't. And that's the system. My system has memorized that. And when I feel into it now, I could just immediately burst into tears, because it's arresting. It's like a straitjacket. And I can see how we can live completely successful lives and completely not be aware. And I can't doctor around in the reflection of my mirror. Basically, can't put the makeup on my on the face in the mirror. Maybe I should once try that, just to really drive that point home, because experience teaches. Words don't teach, Abraham Hicks always says. Experience teaches. And when the same thing here, if we're wanting change, but somehow the direction of the change we want is registered in the system as dangerous. Aliveness is dangerous. Loss of control or the risk thereof is dangerous. I mean, these are irreconcilable programs, and to really reprogram those. I can just say, the younger you are, reprogram that shit. But then we are here to reinstall that new software. We've done it before, apparently. We are here to do it. And we're doing it. And instead of this pity party that I'm throwing for myself, I should remind those parts of myself, softly, there's no danger. But when I then have a program running inside me that says, I am German, I am right. You don't get to prove me wrong. What do you mean there's no danger? I've built my whole fucking world around that danger. And now you want to come here and tell me there is no danger? Oh, I'm getting goosebumps all over. I can just see the outrage in the system. You can't come here and just revolutionize the whole bloody thing. And yet, yeah, that's exactly what it takes. Noah's flood, the red moon beneath the yellow human. Keep the seeds, keep some seeds, and then let yourself be washed and trust that this earth has the wherewithal to bring you back online, but in an upgraded version. And this holding on, why would I hold on to any part of myself? Who's this part of me that thinks it's wiser than God, no less than, and that thinks, oh, no, like, this is worth preserving. I am worth preserving. This needs to blah, and this needs to be like this, and this needs to be like that. Who do I think I am? I mean, and I don't mean this disrespectfully towards myself. I'm just like, you're arguing for your limitation from morning to night. What are you doing? How can we just like, how can I let it all be washed away and like celebrating death? I mean, really, learn, die before you die. So many spiritual teachings teach us that. Yeah, and then I wouldn't mind diving a little bit, but I'm not going to, I think, into this super sensitivity that some of us have and feeling the collective and, yeah, finding the way to be a part of and yet not embody totally. Be in the world but not of the world. I'm not going to dive into that. That is, I'm going to let that just sit in resonance with the resonant mirror in this wave spell. This wave spell has walked us through the magnetic human, attract, unify, purpose, the purpose of my humanity, the purpose of all humanity, the purpose of this time in which I as human or humanity as humanity exists, the attractive nature of all of life. Then the challenge through skywalking, the stabilizing and making us feel good. It's all about life is about feeling good, thriving. Why does a plant grow toward the sun if that's not what makes this plant feel good? It doesn't just do that because. It's not just a mechanism to produce oxygen for us. The whole thing, the whole earth is, it's paradise. It is. And so is the rest of the universe, but not with our childish understanding of what that means. Like gummy bears on trees and just sugar and sweets. No, man. But that is the challenge, to understand like what's really good for us, not just pleasure seeking. To learn to be human, to balance, to really be a balanced human. And the electric wizard, receptivity, receptive to spirit, receptive to letting go and receiving and just letting go, this thing of letting go. I mean, this is the electric wizard is guided by the mirror, but and the world bridger isn't around here so much, but Without the world bridger, human doesn't function. So then we have the self-existing eagle. There's the world bridger right there. In the occult, crystalline world bridger. Letting each other go, letting ourselves go. You're like, without letting go, there's nothing. Die before we die. What is birth coming from? What is, like, nothing is created out of nothing. Energy conservation, law of energy conservation, everything transforms. The world bridger and the storm, they teach us about, we're coming through the sun wave spell, we're coming through the dragon birth wave spell, and then the magician wave spell, this receptivity. And then we're exploring healing and doing in the hand, knowing, and then consciousness, life itself, understanding backwards. We understand life through the mirror of hindsight. So while we're going through the red dragon wave spell, for the very first time, we may not understand anything, but as we progress, we look back and say, relative to my new experience, the experience I've had, now it makes sense. And then we spiral around and around and around. We're going around. Next time we meet the red dragon, and we'll surely do it together because I'm kind of liking this thing. It's like we'll be in a totally different space because we've been here. And then we're yellow sunning it, and then we've skywalked after the sun, after life. We're going into the skywalker. Like, how does life please itself? It's about pleasuring ourselves, exactly. But unless we're in balance, self-pleasure just can become really like addiction. Because pleasure doesn't balance us. Pleasure is pleasure. But balance comes first. And the skywalker needs to be very balanced. And then, world bridger. So if the skywalker isn't balanced, addiction ultimately leads to death. Imbalance leads to death. Balance also leads to death, but maybe not. I don't know. I mean, what is death-endedness? But it's the release, cleansing, and the newness. A new beginning, new beginning, new beginning. Make space, clean up, get rid of that old stuff. And come back to have no understanding of an eternal life, of an eternal self that keeps coming back. Death just becomes a problem to be solved. And it's not. It's a party to be had. I mean, my God. I think if God asked me, I give you one wish, what would you change in humanity? In humanity, I would say the Western or any part of the humanity on this planet that has any misunderstanding or issue with death. It's okay not to remember. It's okay to forget. It's okay, kind of like, I don't know if it's okay not to know. I mean, it's okay to be atheist and be peaceful about it, yeah. But having an issue, fearing death, that like, no, I think that just causes a lot of, maybe I'm terribly short-sighted, I don't know, but that just like, how much unnecessary grief does that cause? And then we're going through the transformer, the storm, freedom. After we've gone through death, then it's freedom. It's like, oh my God, I get to do all this over. I get to just live again. Like, you mean I can decide? Human comes after the blue storm. We're traveling back in time. Like, you learn in the future that you can decide the past. And you learn in the future that you decide your future. You remember your future self. Next blue storm wave spell, where would you want to be? What would you want to transform? Now I'm not remembering the wave spell that runs. Their dog, their love. I mean, in the occult wave spells of the first half of the Tzolk'in spin are all the wave spells of the second half of the spin, the occult. Now they're coming out to be seen. And when we do this consciously next time around, it's like, oh, we're expanding, we're holding the vision of past, future, and present in tandem, parallel, present at all times. And what will that do to us? But it brings out the issues, it brings out the shadows, it brings out the imbalances, at least in my experience. Like, gosh, this second castle has been, man, I've scraped the barrel bottoms, but actually I'm learning to die and I should party. I love that. Like, oh my God, all of me is like, I get to release what I no longer need, and I don't have to micromanage. This word of micromanaging, I think I want to explore that a little bit, because I think my humanity, my control mechanisms are trying to micromanage. I'm not letting go. I'm like, I gotta control what's dying and where is it going and what is it adjusting and do. No, fuck. Stop it. You're driving yourself demented, Tatiana. That's just not fun. You're just making life so difficult for yourself. Trying to understand everything. Like balance, that will surely lead you into some very troubled waters. Yikes. But yeah, okay. But we got there. So, and then we entered the human wave spell after the storm. Now we're human. Now we're going into the serpent. So within this human, we've gone to the self-existing eagle. We've, like, what vision do we have? What vision does life have for us? Are we in alignment with life's vision? Like, yeah, do we know how to die? Do we know how to let go? Like, for me, like, beautiful. Oh, that's just like semi-orgasmic right now. That's like really like, oh, please, yes. And yet, where am I not, like, clarity comes. Right this minute, clarity comes. This is incidentally my second recording for today. I had another one that was very quiet, had nothing to say. And then I was disquiet about my quiet. I feel like I do have something to say. And then where did we go? To the center, to the yellow humans, to the overtone warrior. This intelligence within us that knows the way. And the warrior has the antipode of the world bridger. I'm really honing in on the world bridger today. Like, we can really let go and trust, surrender, be water, flow. If there's no riverbed to hold us, then we just disperse, but we can never not exist. We always, like, so we sink into the ground, we just, we evaporate, and we meet up again as cells in the sky. I sometimes feel as a human, I know every single human on this planet, but I can't meet and be best friends and buddies and lovers with everyone. So I congregate with just whoever resonates in this time period. And then we let each other go and go our separate ways for lifetimes on end, because in between we conglomerate and congeal and loverize with others. Now a cloud in the sky, now a puddle on the street, now a pea stream of a dinosaur, now in a whatever, like, there's just no end to it. There's no end to it. And there is so much experience to be had. So much life experience to be had. As water. Just only water on earth. And then when all of it has been exhausted and all of it is conscious, like, I remember I'm all of it, then the world is ready to collide with something else and crack open and disperse into the galaxy and merge, and all her elements with whatever is ready to merge with her, with us. And then somewhere down the far, far history of time, once we have dissolved and re-emerged out of countless black holes, into and out of countless black holes, would come back and assemble as Earth and remember what life and the journey as water on Earth was all about. And we do it again. Oh man, the bliss of forgetting. I mean, yeah. And then we did the mirror, the rhythmic earth in this way spell as human. Rhythmic earth. I just gave it. I just gave that one. And then the resonant mirror. Endlessness, order. Endlessness reflects order. Endlessness reflects order. I did it. I did it. That's my way of seeing it happen. And then we did the the galactic storm, reminding us of 13 days ago we were a galactic world bridger. 13 days ago we were a galactic skywalker. 13 days ago we were a galactic sun. 13 days ago we were a galactic blue hand. 13 days ago we were a galactic the wizard. 13 days ago we were galactic dragon. And 13 days ago we were we did not exist. Is that possible? Well, somewhere, let's have the mystery, but it's just like backwards and forwards we weave like a seesaw or like a cradle rocking, shining the light of consciousness into the unconscious, reminding ourselves that we are also unconscious. It is our reflection, and it is good that way. The system is perfect. And to discover it as a scientist or as a spiritualist or as a lover or as a whoever, we're discovering truth as a human. We discover this beautiful order of life and of ourselves, including our own disorder. Oh, I'm totally in escapist mode right now, I'm sure. It doesn't matter. Maybe this is my unstable addiction to be completely in this space where I'm just loving all of life and I'm looking at whatever just rubbed me up the wrong way, and it's not rubbing me up the wrong way right now. It's just like passing through me like it has no traction, it has no grit or no grip in me. It just flows through me, be like water. And I can't micromanage the links here. I just gotta trust that the system knows what's best for me and I can let go. I gotta trust myself and the divine and life and flow and everything. And being human for a time being, exploring resistance, exploring denying love, exploring denying pleasure, exploring the shadow aspect of everything. It's hectic, but it's like I couldn't do it without the pain. Wouldn't work. And how much pain am I willing to take to hollow my vessel, to make space for the pleasure that I'm also able to take or seek or have or want. And that's a hell of a dance. Oh my God. Anyway, so this beautiful galactic storm that has stormed through this human wave spell, our transformer, our friend, not our enemy. The past is our friend, not our enemy. Once we really understand things in the past, we understand the silver lining, we see the gift in everything, no matter how painful a situation was. And I'm still sitting with some situations in myself where I'm like angry, I'm resentful. I sense a level of rage in me that is beyond what I believe my own capacity to handle is. It's like I'm looking at a at a rage that is like the size of the molten core of the earth, and if I let myself go in there, I will blow up this earth out of such anger. I can just feel rage beyond the beyond. I can't understand what force is keeping me together as me, the holder of this rage, that there is something that contains it. What force can possibly contain this level of rage that is like, and what to do with that, that is the lava, that is the force inside the earth, that is electromagnetic forces, that is like it. To me it feels like that is the core of the sun. Nothing contains that. The sun is not contained, but how come it just doesn't, the sun doesn't just blow up? There's something in the sun, and this is to me the process of the sun that I feel. And it would be very good for me to understand that that process is not meant to hurt me. It's not meant to hurt. It's a life force. And we're going into the wave spell of the life force, which doesn't have the sun in it directly. But we had the sun. Here I am. Oh my goodness. I like traveling through the yellow human wave spell. So there's the solar sun, and this is what she feels like, or it feels like. This, oof. If the intentions, if as a human, I can't, if as me, at least in my experience, if I'm not setting my intentions properly, if I'm not managing this, the only place to go is death, is inert. An inert sun is like a moon, perhaps, like a cold star. But in the center of all of it, it feels like, what did I read the other day about pulsars and quasars and God knows what? There's a neutron star. When the star collides or explodes in a supernova, that's like what that feels like to me, or at least the closest thing I imagine. What's left is like the densest thing that we know, the densest, it's a star or a cluster of something the size of what they called it in YouTube, a city, not in YouTube, on the internet. They called it like the size of a city, 20 kilometers in diameter or something. But it's heavy. It's the heaviest thing we know. It's like denser than anything. And that force, and they spin really fast. And as a human, if I'm expanding my consciousness to become galactic, to become whatever, I will have awareness. I will feel what that feels like. I can feel that. And how do I, as Tatiana, hold that? How do we hold that? Like, and still function as a human. Like, the beauty is, the way we function. So I'm inviting my family over for dinner in 2 days' time, and I can't wait to cook for them. I cannot wait to pour all my love into that food. I love my family. I was born into an incredibly beautiful family. As imperfect as any family, but just love. Just love. I have the great fortune to be a child of love. My parents made love. They loved each other. Don't I know it? And so for me, feeling unloved, or feeling how, like, when I get into that zone of feeling the disappointment of love, the hurt of a lifetime of, I married you, and just after marrying you, where I'm in love with you, I find out you're just a womanizer. You just fuck around. You're just not, I mean, I'm talking a few generations back. This is somewhere in, but it is not a once off, like these kinds of disappointments, or there are a million of them, there are countless of them, and when they show up and I start feeling them, it's like like no ways, no ways. I can't scream or cry hard enough to give voice to that pain, and but I can't. My system is not ready to say I let all that go. Like a part of me is like, no man, I gotta feed all of that with love. You gotta be loved. You have to be loved. Please forgive. I can ho'oponopono my way through those experiences. And somehow, if I really do it, they don't last longer than a few minutes, even if they come in waves. But then it really, like, there's a healing wash that happens. And there are places on this planet where if we ask for an environment where we can safely heal, the environment comes. It gets given. I have asked for that with pure intent, and I received. And I understand this pure intent, solar sun, the solar sun in the yellow wave human spell, yeah, is just the shit. It's like, but you gotta know what you're asking for. Or you don't. Just love. Just reach out if it's too much, like don't walk it alone. Or I don't know, what advice can I give? I mean, I'm stumbling around my own humanity like nobody's business. It's like, what are you doing? And now and then it's like I'm so alive and so like full on wisdom. Like, yes, I got it all worked out. I got it all worked out. I got this, like, full on. It's not fake. And other times it's like, what the fuck? And that's how it should be. And when I'm in my better state, like right now, they're very different. I mean, it's not a different to earlier. It's not different to the other. But right now I'm integrating in real life with you guys an experience I had yesterday. Where it just like, and this experience of these wave spells. I mean, I'm walking through this live as much as I can without like either shitting in my pants or like really losing face. I'm trying to be as honest as I can here, as transparent. Share these processes and share humanity. And yeah. Okay. Anyway, dead end. Flow where to? Evaporated into sky. Okay, blue storm. Where's my water? In the cloud. In the cloud. All memory gets stored in the cloud. Endlessly much space there. Okay, wait. And then planetary dragon, of course. Then we're rebirthing. That's rebirthing. There you go. I did it again. I'm always a step ahead of myself. I love this. Are you realizing? I'm enjoying this. So it's so. Then we're birthing, nurturing. I'm nurturing the past. I'm nurturing the future. I'm nurturing my life. I'm nurturing my own nervousness right now. Oh, but this is getting to something really uncomfortable. And there I have the wherewithal to say, you are not allowed here. I acknowledge this, but this is beyond my current ability to go. And there's my serpent saying, you need food. I'm starting to kick in some serious survival mechanisms here, because I believe you need to eat, otherwise we die. Okay. Oh, this is very intense. So let's get this wrapped up now. Planetary dragon, manifesting our birth, perfecting our life, not through our human idea of perfection and micromanaging and having to control everything, but actually life's idea of perfection, and that's already happening. You don't need to do anything. You're already perfect. Just enjoy yourself. Easier said than done, I know. And then we dissolve through the wind. Yeah, that's what I need now. Breathe and dissolve any stress or any tension that shows up. Breathe your way through the issues and the problems and the, like, take only as much as you can breathe. Don't exhale more. Don't, asthma, people who don't exhale, not letting go. It's not exhaling properly. Exhale all your air. Give it all back. Everything we inhale there, whatever we, exhale the toxins, but the environment or the plants, they need what we exhale. So give it. And understand this eternal pulse of life, eternal breath, giving and receiving, living and dying, being and becoming. And every now and then letting it all go and recycling and reforming and learning to love all over. So there's nothing static about life, ever. Even a stagnant lake just produces another kind of life. Anyway, and then we're going into the crystal night, beautiful, the fullness of abundance of everything, trusting the unconscious, trusting the fullness of life. Again, we're back there. The intuition. And then today the cosmic seed. Say no more. I gotta go eat. Beautiful day I wish us. And now I have some sort of letting go anxiety. I have separation anxiety because part of me is afraid of running into the things I don't like running into about myself. In the mirror of my life experience, I have become really focused on what I don't want. And I'm enforcing it. And I am really observing what happens when I do that. Like this is like a battle of will. Oh God, I know where that leads. I know exactly where that leads. It leads to a fucking, what is it, a quasar, a neutron star. Like, you fucking not gonna get the better of me. You can explode in every supernova you want, but there is a core to me that is denser than anything. You cannot break me. You cannot fucking break me. And there's two of us here. Of equal strength. And now I'm reminded in closing of the Frankenstein movie, the one that's just come out lately, and I don't know, is this a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but like, make me a companion. I mean, it's just pure love. Like when we with all our evil, with all our dysfunction, we still produce love. We still get absolved by our creation, because that is what the world bridger is all about. Equalize opportunity. It's quite a nice film. I'd recommend it. We enjoyed it. I wish us a beautiful cosmic seed day.